What can I do for you, Eric? How can I help you?
I just had a couple questions because, like, one of my friends is Muslim, and it's like
Yes.
sometimes because, like, I'm a Christian, right? Well, I'm a Catholic, but I'm a same thing. We follow the same things, and I was wondering because the Quran doesn't it say that Jesus gonna come back and judge the world, right?
No,
It doesn't.
no, no. Quran doesn't say Jesus is going to come back and judge the world. Doesn't say that. Hadith says Jesus is going to come back. It's not the Quran. First, let's clarify that.
Yeah.
And then the Hadith says that Jesus is going to judge with Islam. So what is he going to do? The Hadith specifically says he will come and he will break the cross. Which cross? The cross that Christians believe in. The Trinity that Christians believe in. He's going to break that. Which is one of the main wisdoms why he comes back, because he tells people that you made me God and I'm not God. So because a lot of people are like, why is Jesus coming back? One of the main reasons he comes back is because people has misattributed to him things he hasn't said and misattributed divinity to him. So when he comes back to show the people that he isn't God. So he's going to break the cross to demonstrate that. And he's going to kill the pig, the swine, which Christians are eating now day and night, which he has never eaten because he was following the law. So he's going to kill the swine and then he's going to establish Islamic ruling. So yeah, Jesus is coming back, but I think you should be prepared for him coming back more than anybody else. If you are the one who's claiming that he's God, because if you go read the Bible, by the way, if you go read the Bible and you see in the Bible where it specifically talks about Jesus coming back, and it says that he will say, many will say to me on that day, Lord, Lord. I don't know if you come across this verse before.
Yeah.
Right? We've done many miracles. What is he going to say to them? He'll say, we've done many miracles in your name, cast out demons in your name, which is all the Christians today are doing. They call him Lord. Yeah. They call me Lord, Lord. You call him Lord, Lord. You cast out demons in his name. What is he going to say to the people?
For depart from you, for I didn't know you.
Yeah, he doesn't know you. Exactly. He doesn't know those people who are falsely worshiping him as God and Lord and doing miracles in his name. He doesn't know these people. And he's going to say to them, you didn't do the will of the Father or the law of the Father or the commandment of the Father. People have left the laws. They left worshiping God. They started worshiping Jesus. So his criticism will be that you haven't done the will of God, the Father. And you call him Lord, Lord, you do many miracles in his name. So are you ready for Jesus to come back? That's the question.
Am I ready?
Yeah.
Am I ready for Jesus to come back?
Yes. Are you ready for him to come and tell you I never knew you or no?
Well, I mean, through my relationship, like with following God, I believe it's like personally I'm trying to change my actions. So like before he comes back, so I could be like a better person. Because like I know that day of judgment, we will all be judged.
Okay. So are you going to, when Jesus comes back, do you believe that right now you're following Jesus the way he loved his life and what he commanded? Or do you believe you're following the church and Paul and other people and what they told you to do? Which one do you think you're actually following right now? Do you think you're doing the laws of God, laws of the Creator, the laws of the Father, or the will of God, or you're doing the will of Paul? Which one do you think you're doing right now?
The will of Paul.
Okay, so then I don't think you're ready for Jesus to come back, Because if you're doing the will of somebody other than Jesus, look, let me remind you, there's a reason why Jesus said, whoever doesn't do these laws, doesn't keep these commandments, or teaches others to do so, he will be called the least in the kingdom of heaven. And if you don't do these laws and commandments, you shall not enter the kingdom of heaven. This is what Jesus says. Why is he saying this? Why is he saying this in Matthew 5? Why is he saying these verses 17, 18, and 19, and 20? Why is he saying this? You have Paul doing this. You don't need to follow the law, telling the Jews you don't need to follow the law, whatever. Right? And people today are following Paul. So of course, when Jesus is going to come, he's going to tell you that you're following you left the law of God. You did not do the will of the Creator. You did not do the will of God. You started doing the will of someone else. Depart from me, I never knew you. Who I know are the people who followed me. Christian is supposed to be a follower of Christ. Somebody who does what Christ did.
Exactly.
Right? Yeah. Not somebody who, not a Pauline, right? You're not following what Paul did. Like, you're not going to follow a different religion that somebody who never met Jesus brought. I was walking, he says to you, that the devil will come to you in the form of the angel of light. And then he says, I'm walking to Damascus and I see light and I hear the voice. You cannot make this up, I'm sorry. But he teaches you that the devil will come to you in the form of angel of light. Paul says this. Then Paul at the same breath tells you that I was going to Damascus and I saw light and I heard a voice. And that's Jesus. And everybody believes him. This one encounter when he was going to Damascus and people started following this. Oh, okay, listen, this guy must be saying the truth. There's no way that he saw the devil. There is no way that he's lying. He used to kill Christians, but there is no way he's a liar. You know, he used to massacre all the followers of Jesus, right? That's what Paul used to do. I don't know if you know that or not. He used to massacre the believers. And then now he tells us that he saw a vision of Jesus. We must believe him. He cannot be lying. Then he goes and he lies by saying to James and others, they say, you're being accused of not following the law. So he goes and pretends that he's following the law while all his letters is telling people, to Jewish people, not to follow the law. So, I mean, if you're following a liar who did not follow Jesus, who went against the teachings of Jesus, then you're not prepared, my friend. The only way you can be prepared is to actually be a Muslim. That's the only way for someone to be prepared. Why? Because the word Muslim means to submit to the Creator, submit to the one true God. And Jesus submitted his will to God. He said, let it be your will, not my will. He was a Muslim. He submitted his will to the God of Abraham, the one true God. Prophet Muhammad submitted his will to the one true God. Abraham submitted his will to the one true God. He took his own son. They were all submitters. They were all monotheistic submitters that believed in one God. Jesus wasn't going around telling the people, in the name of the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit. He wasn't doing that. He was going and praying. He's teaching you, say, Our Father in heaven, hallowed be thy name, thy kingdom. Why is he teaching you this? Your kingdom, your will, referring to God, not him. So when you come and then you're like, oh, no, you know what? We'll follow Paul and we'll follow the church when the church told us this made-up concept called the Trinity, which doesn't exist in the Bible. We're going to follow that. We're going to ignore the teachings of Jesus and we're going to do this. Does that make any sense?
Nah.
So why are you doing it? Why are you doing it?
That's what I'm saying. Like I follow that. That's what I'm saying. Like there's a lot of deceivement, especially now, since like you with the woman you like we're talking to before. Like you explained it. It was like liberalism and all that. Like I feel like it's been contradicted, like the Bible, as well as like the religion of Islam, and it's like, you know, it's like
So the thing is this. So the thing is this. Okay, do you believe a human being can be God or a human being is God? Think about that for a minute. Think about a human being, right? How limited a human being is, what he eats, and what he eats, what he does. Where does he come out from when he's born, right? What does he need to do when he's a baby? Think about all of these things. And tell me, does that sound like God to you?
I mean, it's like, nah, I just know through personal experience that like why I follow what I follow with Jesus. But like I understand like the Paul. I mean,
You say. Can clarify that? You say you know a person. Clarify what do you mean? You know, for your personal experience, you follow Jesus. What does that mean?
Through my personal experience and actions, like in the past that I've done, like it's like personal relationship, like you know.
Yeah, but you don't know Jesus without the Bible. Do you know Jesus without the Bible?
I know Jesus without the Bible?
Yeah, can you know who Jesus is without the Bible? Would you know who Jesus is if there was no Bible? Would you be following that?
I think that's why he spoke in parables, no?
What do you mean by that?
What do I mean by parables? Like he's just
no. What do you mean? That's why. What do you mean? That's why he spoke in parables.
For like people to deceive the actual Bible.
Yeah. I'm saying you don't know about Jesus without the Bible, right?
Do I know Jesus without the Bible? Nah, I wouldn't.
No. Yeah, if there's no Bible, you wouldn't know who Jesus is. You wouldn't be. You would not be. There would be no personal experience. So that personal experience is based on the fact that there is a Bible. If that Bible is false, then that personal experience is also false, because you wouldn't have a personal experience without the Bible, would you? There wouldn't be a Jesus to have a personal experience with to begin with. So what you need to do is to think: is the Bible itself true or false? And then you would know whether your personal experience is true or false. Just like Paul's personal experience was not true, your personal experience can also not be true. Very easy. But the question is it based on truth or is it based on falsehood? Now, when you look at the Bible, we know the Bible has been changed. Oh, left and right and center, and we know that. But even that Bible that is changed, you don't have Jesus saying he's God. You don't have any verses of Jesus telling you he's God. You don't have any verses which mention the Trinity. Not just the name, but the concept. You don't have Jesus telling you that not to follow the law anymore. So the Christianity of today, where you believe that God became a human and came and walked the earth, and he was Jesus, who was sinless, and then he died as a part of the Trinity, as a divine being for the sins of the entire mankind, and then you don't need to follow law anymore and do whatever you want. All of that is not truly biblical. So you're not really following the Bible. Then you don't have a personal experience with Jesus, because what you're saying is not what Jesus said. So how is it a personal experience with Jesus? You have a personal experience with Paul, yeah. You definitely do. But that's not Jesus.
Okay.
But again, I asked you the question, you haven't answered there. So let me come back to the question. Let's go for a circle. Is God, when you think about a human being, limited human being, that if you close his mouth and nose, he's going to suffocate to death, that eats and drinks, that sleeps, and after eats and drinks, he does something, we don't need to go into details. When he is created from this sperm drop, then he comes out from a certain part of a woman. He cries, and when he cries as a baby, he can't even feed himself. Does this sound like God to you? Is God a human being?
I mean, like I said, through personal experience, you feel me?
My question is not, I didn't ask you, Eric, do you have a personal experience? I'm asking you, is God a human being, right? Like you could either say, look, when you can either use your mind, or you can be like many Christians. You can be like, where is the closest bin? And you can open it and take your head and put it there. There's only two options. So you could choose whichever one you like. You could either go to the closest bin and take your brain and put it there, or be like, no, God has given me this mind. And he told me to reason and to seek the truth. So I'm going to use it. So you can do either or. That's really your choice. So using that mind, that brain that is God-given, if you're not supposed to use it, I don't know why God gave it to you. In the Christian belief, I don't understand. In that God-given mind, does it make any sense to say that God is a human being?
No.
That's it. By the way, the Bible says the same thing. It says God is not a man. And many people go to Numbers chapter 23. I'm not referring to Numbers chapter 23, which a lot of people go to because it says, God is not a man that he would lie. And then the Christians think, oh, look, we've got you. It's not saying that he's not a man. No, it's saying that he's not a man that he would lie. But still, it's not. God is not going to give you a parable or an example or a metaphor of something that doesn't apply, right? He's saying he is not a man means he is not a man, even if he is just related to lying. But I'm not only quoting that, I'm also quoting Hosea, because Hosea, it says God is not a man and that's it. It stops there. Nothing about lying here. God is just like, for I am God and not a man. Can it be clearer than this?
It makes sense. It makes sense.
Yeah, God's like telling you, I'm not a man. You're like, no. But my personal experience. Like, God himself is telling you, I'm not a man. Relax. I'm not. No. But listen, my personal experience, which is based on the Bible, is going to ignore what the Bible is saying. I'm like, okay, how does that make any sense? So, if God is not a man, then Jesus cannot be God. Jesus, it's not only that he never said he's God. Anybody with any mind will know that God doesn't have a date of birth. He cannot be a human being. Cannot eat and drink. Cannot come out of a woman. That's not God. God is the creator of everybody. Has no date of birth, no beginning, no end. And anything which we look at and we deem to be unholy cannot be holy. All right? So this, okay. Now, what did Jesus truly teach? He taught that you go and you put your head on the floor and you pray. Who prays like this?
Muslims.
Yeah, Jesus did this in Matthew 26:39. In the Bible. I'm not even talking about the Quran now. I did not tell you what the Quran says. I'm telling you what your own book says. He goes and he falls on his face. By the way, Abraham does the same thing. Moses does the same thing. It's a tradition of prophets where they prostrate to God. It's not something that we made up. You have the idea of Jesus not eating pork. Which religion now strictly does not eat pork? Of course, we have two actually traditions. What are they that they don't eat pork?
Muslims and I guess Jewish people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of them is not, you're not welcome to enter in anyways. It's only one which can be truth from God, which is open for people. Then Jesus fasted 40 days, right? He was fasting. Who is fasting today?
Muslims.
Okay. Jesus' mother in every church, she's wearing something that I don't know. Can you help me with the word she's covering her? What is it called?
I guess it's stuff you guys use. Hijab. Yeah.
Hijab, yes. Okay.
Yeah.
So this Jesus, who's from the Middle East, like a man who's Middle Eastern, not a white man, a Middle Eastern, who's going around, he's got this beard, he's wearing clothing. You know, he wasn't wearing a tie, you know, like Mike and Paul and Luke and Jeremy. He wasn't doing that. He was wearing a suit and a tie, like your average white man, right? He was wearing something close to whatever you probably see the Middle Easterners wear today. These traditional type of clothing. So he's dressed like that with a beard, walking with his mother with a hijab, going on the floor and praying. And then he was saying Allah. What? Yeah, was he saying Allah? He was saying Allah because Allah is Aramaic and he was speaking Aramaic according to Christians. The word for God in Aramaic is Allah. So he's going on his head and saying Allah. What religion is this? Help me. Like if you see this man today, what religion is this?
It's stuff you guys follow.
Yeah. When we say to the people, look, because a lot of people get triggered. We say Jesus was a Muslim. People get triggered instantly. But look at how he practiced his life. Look at how he lived his life. You'd see that how he lived his life is how the Muslims live their life. That's why we're not worried when Jesus comes back. We're not worried because we are on the side of the truth. We're doing what Jesus did. Jesus worshiped on God, we worship on God. He fell on his face, he prayed. We fell on our face and we prayed. We don't eat pork, we fast. He didn't eat pork, we didn't fast. Our women are covered with the hijab like his mother was covered with the hijab. Why do we need to worry there? He followed the law, we follow the law. The law of God. Why worry then? The ones that have to worry, because a lot of, when Christians come, they think he got a gotcha moment. Jesus is coming back. Yes, he's coming back for you. I say to Christians, he is coming back, but he's coming back for you. He's not coming back for me. He's coming back for you and for the Antichrist, which a lot of people are going to sadly fall. So, if this is the reality, Prophet Muhammad, when he came with the same thing. He said, you prostrate to God, fall on your face and you pray. You wear the hijab. Satan is your greatest enemy. You worship God alone. You fast. Jesus was the Messiah. He was a prophet and a messenger sent by God, as he said about himself. And so did Abraham, so did Moses, so did all of these people. Now the question is, why would you not accept Prophet Muhammad as a prophet if this is the case? Why would you not become a Muslim if this is the truth?
Well, me talking about me personally? Why would I become a Muslim?
Yeah. Is there anybody else in the room? Of course, I'm talking to you. Yeah.
What would I be? It's like the way I grew up and stuff. It's like, it just makes sense, like on my end, and the way you just portrayed it. But like, I'd rather it's like
yeah.
Me
let's leave how you grow. Let's leave the past. Let's leave how you grew up. Let's leave the history. Let's talk about today.
Yeah.
Why are you not a Muslim right now? Why wouldn't you accept the religion of Islam? Why wouldn't you accept the truth, the religion that Jesus was upon right now?
I mean, damn. It's like kind of hard because like through my experiences of like the way I've prayed, like the same way like Jesus taught us. Because like I grew up like religious, but like like it just makes sense like on my end to like follow Jesus, like same stuff.
Are we telling you? Or was I telling you to follow Jesus, or was I telling you to follow Paul?
Paul, you just follow me to Christ, not Christ.
Yeah, I was telling you to follow Jesus, right? What are you telling me to follow?
To follow Paul.
Yeah, so why are you telling me that it makes sense to follow Jesus, where I'm the one who's telling you to follow Jesus?
I guess.
Yeah, following Jesus would be becoming a Muslim. Because just like Jesus was sent, Moses was sent, Abraham was sent, Prophet Muhammad was sent. They're all prophets coming from the same God. They taught you the same thing.
Exactly.
So don't delay. You're supposed to, okay, this makes sense. This is the truth. Look, we will stand before God. You can play games. We can pretend we don't see the truth. We will stand before God. If something is true, then I'm supposed to submit to the Creator and worship that God. Instantly. I don't play games. This is the truth. Okay, I'm going to accept the truth. That's how your attitude should be. You should be a person of truth, not a person of desires. Not what suits me, not what I like. It's what God has sent down, what is truly from the Creator, and is what I'm supposed and ought to follow.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'll invite you to Islam. I invite you to accept Islam. Accepting Islam is a very simple process. You can do it right now. You can do it when you feel like it. There's no pressure. We don't look. The thing about Islam is the truth. So we don't need to go and force anybody to accept it. We welcome people. We send friendly invitations to people. We're like, look, here's the truth, and here is why is the truth. And we welcome you to accept Islam. It's a very simple process. All you have to do is to testify there's only one God worthy of worship. There's nothing worthy of worship except Allah, the same God of Jesus. And to testify that Prophet Muhammad is his prophet and messenger. That's it. Once you make that testimony, you become
that Muhammad is the what?
Servant and messenger of God. Just
I
like
think I'd
Jesus
have to do more like research on Muhammad and stuff, you know?
No worries, do it.
Before I get into it. Yeah.
Do it. No worries. That's what I'm telling you. What matters is that we accept the truth. If I still have a question, let me investigate that question. But what matters in the end is I don't look for what benefits me. I look for what is true, and I follow that.
Yeah.
Okay?
I understand.
Now, before I let you go, the last thing I was telling you is this. Prophet Muhammad is a messenger and servant of God. Jesus is called the messenger and servant of God. Moses was the messenger and servant of God. Abraham was the messenger and servant of God. Prophet Muhammad told you to follow Jesus. Jesus told you to follow Moses. Moses told you to follow Abraham. All the prophets have the same tradition of doing the same thing. Nothing is new. Allah says in the Quran, قُلْ مَا كُنْتُ بِدْعًا مِنَ الرُّسُلِ. Say, I'm not an innovation of the messengers. I'm bringing something new here. Prophet Muhammad is not bringing anything new, right? It's the same message that came from God from the beginning. All right, Eric?
Okay.
Do your investigation.
Do you have any recommendations on where to go to Quran, to study actually Muhammad?
Yeah, so if you want to study evidences for why Islam is the truth, right?
Yeah.
You have a video on my channel. It's called Compelling Evidences for the Truthfulness of Islam. Okay. Compelling Evidences for the Truthfulness of Islam. Okay? If you just, after you're done, if you go to the playlist section and you see lectures, you're going to find that video. There's another video here, which I can tell you where I talked about Prophet Muhammad briefly. Give me 1 second. Muslim surprises truth seeker with evidences of prophethood. Okay? That's one example. Yeah, so you can just put evidences of prophethood, Muslim lantern, and probably maybe both of them are going to come out in the search. Okay?
All right, yeah, sounds good.
All right.
All right,
watch these two videos, and then maybe we'll have a discussion again in the future, Eric. All right? Pleasure talking to you, my friend.
Thank you. Yeah, have a good one.
Bye-bye. See you.